7385 Adam.
85 Adam.
Yes, Greg, can I get a quality of life mission event number at 95th and Red Line?
Sure. That is 10170. 10170.
Thank you.
Yes.
5700 Adam.
5700 Adam.
This is just for information. I'm up here hit on a white Acura with buried in the element plate of Boy Mary 74039. Those plates belong to a silver Jeep. This vehicle was possibly involved in a burglary out of Melrose Park. That's just not confirmed. But that plate I just gave you does not belong in that Acura. It's a white Acura utility.
Alright, and where was the hit at?
So it just hit at Dan Ryan in the 63rd Express lanes, heading southbound. It's at 67th right now, Express lanes.
Alright, now it's 6710. Alright, so we are looking for a white Acura, currently Boy Mary 74039, but those plates do not match. Vehicle possibly wanted for a burglary, but that has not yet been confirmed.
738 Charlie.
84 Charlie.
Well, I think it's blood 725 South Speed.
Yep, that is 10198.
7386 David.
86 David.
Call Red Line, please.
Sure, that is 10203.
7386 Boy.
786 boy.
Can you give us an event number for assistant citizen on Jackson Red Line?
Alrighty, that is 10207.
You call that one, please. Yep, it's 10441.
83 Charlie.
783 Charlie.
Canal Roosevelt, please.
7388 Adam.
788 Adam.
Can I get a train ride, please, western to Castile?
5700 Adam.
5700 Adam.
This is just for information. I'm up here.
Thank you.
Yes.
5700 Adam.
5700 Adam.
This is just for information. I'm up here hit on a white Acura with buried in the element plate of Boy Mary 74039. Those plates belong to a silver Jeep. This vehicle was possibly involved in a burglary out of Melrose Park. That's just not confirmed. But that plate I just gave you does not belong in that Acura. It's a white Acura utility.
Alright, and where was the hit at?
So it just hit at Dan Ryan in the 63rd Express lanes, heading southbound. It's at 67th right now, Express lanes.
Alright, now it's 6710. Alright, so we are looking for a white Acura, currently Boy Mary 74039, but those plates do not match. Vehicle possibly wanted for a burglary, but that has not yet been confirmed.
738 Charlie.
84 Charlie.
Well, I think it's blood 725 South Speed. 5700 Adam.
5700
Burglar vehicle out of Melrose Park onto Dan Ryan.
Hit on a white Acura with buried in the element plate of Boy Mary 74039. Those plates belong to a silver Jeep. This vehicle was possibly involved in a burglary out of Melrose Park. That's just not confirmed. But that plate I just gave you does not belong in that Acura. It's a white Acura utility.
Alright, and where was the hit at?
So Alright, just hit at Dan Ryan and the 63rd Express lanes, heading southbound. It's at 67th right now. Express lanes.
Alright, now it's 6710-4. Alright, so we are looking for a white Acura, currently Boy Mary 74039, but those plates do not match. Vehicle possibly wanted for a burglary, but that has not yet been confirmed.
738 Charlie.
84 Charlie.
Well, I think it's lot 725 South Speed.
Yep, that is 10198.
7386 David.
86 David.
Call red line, please.
Sure, that is 10203.
7386 boy.
786 boy.
Can you give us an event number for assistant citizen on the Jackson Red line?
Alrighty, that is 10207.
83 Charlie.
783 Charlie.
Canal Roosevelt, please.
83 Charlie, I'm sorry, you cut out. Say that again?
83 Charlie, lunch over here on Roosevelt Canal.
Roosevelt Canal, got it. Okay, that is 10213.
That Acura just exited 79, fits up Huntsville East, approaching State.
Alright, gotta go eastbound to 790.
353.
7353.
16 Columbia on Broadway.
Alright,
Got off at 79th Street going eastbound.
10228.
Units 11 and Citywide, we have a criminal trespass in progress. 4256 West Maypole Avenue, 4256 West Maypole Avenue. Looking for Paulsha Lawford. Says the landlord kicked her out of the apartment. She's elderly, 65 years old. Alicia will be in front wearing black hoodie, blue jeans. Says that the old tenant broke into location. Says she was put out a while ago. Wants her removed. Nothing further. Zone 10, District 11. Clear.
5700
Go ahead.
The vehicle just passed King Drive. We're still going east.
Eastbound 79 passing King Drive.
Past
10-4
King
again.
Drive.
The white Acura, Boy Mary 74039. Plates don't match, possibly involved in a burglary in the suburbs.
7386 Adam.
786 Adam.
Platform check. Red line, please.
Yeah, that is 10276. Hey, quick update. Yeah, no problem. Quick update for the Acura southbound Ellis from 79. Southbound Ellis from 79.
7383 Eddie.
783 Eddie.
Tried to attack the White House Correspondents' Dinner. WBBM Business, the Dow slipped a fraction while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ reached fresh highs. Right now, we will turn things over to our AccuWeather meteorologist. But first, let's get a quick glimpse. We have some minor relief from the rain. Area rivers and creeks could be on the rise once again. We'll get the latest forecast live from AccuWeather Senior Meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Sarah, it's another round of some showers and thunderstorms coming through right now. Now, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings across the area, and the way this is kind of evolving here this evening, I think the risk for damaging winds and hail will be relatively low, but there are, again, quite an area of showers and thunderstorms that encompasses much of the Chicago area right now, moving from southwest to northeast. So flooding downpours will be a concern, as we'll see probably an hour or two of some pretty heavy rain in much of the area. So again, the potential for some flooding downpours. As the evening goes on, the showers and storms will start to move off to the east. By about midnight or so, a lot of this will be off to the east and will dry out overnight and into tomorrow, as we'll see a return to some sunshine. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The man accused of shooting and killing one Chicago police officer over the weekend and seriously
Drug dealers
wounded
and drug addicts at the multi-million-dollar wellness center on the west side at Kildare and Madison. 7:30 p.m. April 27, 2026.
That led up to the shooting death of CPD officer John Bartholomew and the critical wounding of his partner inside Lincoln Square's Swedish hospital. Tally had had been taken into custody Saturday morning for suspected armed robbery of a dollar store. Having told the arresting officers he had swallowed several bags of drugs, they took him to Swedish for observation. According to prosecutors, on his way to a CT scan, Officer Bartholomew took the cuffs off of Talley, at which point Talley shot Officer Bartholomew in the head with a gun that was somehow hidden under a blanket. Talley then shot Bartholomew's partner in the face. He escaped the hospital wearing nothing but a hospital gown by shooting out a window and was later found hiding under a porch in the neighborhood. Talley had been placed on electronic monitoring back in December and has otherwise spent the better part of the past decade in and out of prison. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Construction has begun on the next phase of a mixed-use project in Chicago's South Loop neighborhood.
The city has officially broken ground on Phase 1C of the Southbridge redevelopment project located on the site of the former Harold Ickes homes. Mayor Brandon Johnson says the start of this phase comes less than a year after the project's first two phases, which house new residents and retailers.
When completed, this phase will deliver approximately 80 mixed-income apartments across a range of unit types. More than half of the units are affordable, including units that are reserved for Chicago Housing Authority households.
When all phases are completed, Southbridge, located at 23rd and State Streets, will deliver approximately 877 mixed-income homes. Chicago Department of Housing Commissioner Lisette Castaneda says the city is making good on restoring units to the communities that need them the most.
Developments like this support the dignity of our neighbors, and as our city grows, make certain that all that dignity is shared more equitably across all 77 communities.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Prosecutor and corporate auditor is in line to serve as Chicago's next inspector general. Mayor Brandon Johnson says he's nominated David Glockner to take over as the city's top official government watchdog. Glockner spent nearly a quarter century in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago. Former colleague Patrick Collins says Glockner is the right person for the gig.
He's a kind person. He's a strong person. Calls it as he sees it, down the middle, unflappable. And I think a really inspired choice.
Glockner most recently served as head of compliance for ComEd's parent company Axelon. City Council will have to confirm his appointment. And a federal appeals court has upheld Michael Madigan's corruption convictions. That means the former Illinois House Speaker will serve out the remainder of his 7.5-year sentence in prison. Madigan's legal team argued that he had been wrongfully convicted, but the judge ruled that the prosecutors had presented enough evidence for jurors to come to an informed decision. Madigan was convicted last year on 10 corruption charges. And prosecutors have released new details after they say 2 University of South Florida students were murdered. Officials say the man accused of killing them had asked ChatGPT what would happen if a human body was put in a garbage bag and thrown in a dumpster. Prosecutors say the suspect asked the question just days before the 2 doctoral students went missing. The 26-year-old suspect is facing 2 counts of premeditated murder. Right now it's 7:35. We'll have your low gas prices, traffic and weather coming up next.
Danny Parkins here on Thursday, May 21st, 104.3 The Score, and the Chicago Cubs are teaming up once again for the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure Radiothon benefiting cancer research. You or your company can get involved by emailing 1043radiothon@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Give me an extra large deep dish with sausage and green peppers.
Sir, this is Hasselus Mattress.
Throw in some breadsticks, too.
We don't have breadsticks.
Oh, well, give me some of them mozzarella sticks, then.
We don't sell pizza. We sell mattresses from Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more for way less.
I think I've got a coupon somewhere.
You won't need a coupon for these everyday deals. Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,459, but Hasselus has it for just $794.
Running any specials?
Yes. Through Monday, get an additional $248 off your new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress just for shopping local.
Do you deliver?
Free next day delivery and haul away of your old mattress.
Great. Step on it, will you? I'm really hungry.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
If your money is not earning at least 6% tax deferred, you need to call Professional Life and Casualty. They're offering 6% APY guaranteed on new funds deposited into your annuity accounts. You pay no surrender charges, no administration fees, and no withdrawal fees. A 6% APY guaranteed return tax deferred. Only from Professional Life and Casualty. Call 1-800-651-1800. That's 651-1800. Rates subject to change. Please call to confirm.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thank you to our listeners for the following gas prices in Romeoville. We have the Shell on Weber and West Taylor Road selling gas for $3.99 a gallon, a little more in Plano at the Murphy USA on Lakeside Road and Walter Payton Memorial Highway, which is selling gas for $4.03 per gallon. If you see a great gas price, please give us a call. That number 312-GASS. Again, that's 312-409-4277. Right now it's 7:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. We're still watching issues on both sides of I-88. Here to tell us about it, Mike Allison.
Yeah, we'll start with the westbound side where everything's still shut down near Sugar Grove. This is at Route 47 where all traffic is being diverted off. When that happens, you can use Route 38 to head west to Peace Road and from there take it south to the westbound 88. If you're headed eastbound, we do have some good news. Still a little slow between Naperville Road before Route 53, but the crash that was in a lane has been cleared, and that delay is starting to improve. Unfortunately, the southbound side of the Tri-States are going to get pretty heavy now. This is from the Hinsdale Oasis to right past the Stevenson. A new crash, looks like a couple of lanes with crews just arriving to the scene, taking those out. On your northbound side, already seeing a bit of a gauger's delay as you approach the scene. Good news is your expressway is pretty quiet tonight. The Edens, that's okay in both directions. On the Kennedy coming inbound, a little bit slow still between Cumberland and Nagle, and again, Armitage to Randolph. 25 in from O'Hare and 16 in from the junction. Outbound, a very slight delay to the Ohio Street Theater makes it 17 minutes out to the airport. I-90 moving well in either direction. The Eisenhower inbound, a tap of the brakes between Racine and the Jane Byrne interchange. 33 in from I-90, 31 to get back out. The Stevenson still clear in both directions. The Dan Ryan filling in just a bit now right around Roosevelt. 14 minutes in and 14 back out as well. 57's all right in either direction, and on the Bishop Ford, inbound is fine. Outbound's just 18 minutes to make it to 8094. From the Metro Traffic Center, your next report is going to be at 7:48 on Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather, we have some showers and thunderstorms moving across the area right now, and those storms could continue to produce flooding downpours as we head through the evening hours. Might be damaging winds or hail with some of the strongest storms, but flooding downpours the main threat from here on out. It will dry out after midnight tonight with some lingering clouds, low 51. Times of clouds and sun, and breezy tomorrow, high 65. Rather cloudy, maybe a shower tomorrow night, low 48. And there could be a shower or two Wednesday with a partly sunny sky, high 56. 65 at O'Hare right now, 67 at Midway, 68 in Glen Ellen, 66 at the lakefront, going down to 51. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
WBBM News Time 7:40. The suspect in the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Center Saturday made his first court appearance today. CBS's Kemi McCormick reports.
The suspect was charged with trying to assassinate the president, but U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro said there will be more charges.
Cole Allen's journey of accountability in the criminal justice system starts today.
While Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche defended the actions of security personnel.
Law enforcement did not fail. They did exactly what they are trained to do.
The incident has prompted reviews, including by the White House. The Secret Service said today it will enhance security at events moving forward.
An FBI affidavit says the suspect traveled by train from L.A. to Chicago and then to Washington last week. He then checked into the Washington Hilton the day before the event. A dispute over the weed killer Roundup, which people blame for their cancer, went before U.S. Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court seems divided over whether to block thousands of lawsuits alleging the maker of the weed killer Roundup failed to warn people it could cause cancer. There have been some multi-billion-dollar verdicts against Bayer, which owns Roundup maker Monsanto. Several justices seem sympathetic to the argument by the company it can't be sued under state law because federal regulators have found Roundup likely doesn't cause cancer. but others grilled attorneys about whether that wrongly stopped states from responding to new research pointing to possible links to cancer. Monsanto has the backing of the Trump administration, which is at odds with some allies in the Make America Healthy Again movement who want to rein in the use of pesticide. Bayer disputes the cancer claims, but has set aside $16 billion to settle cases. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Gas prices are higher than ever, and every penny counts at the pump. For years, WBBM News Radio has been watching gas prices so you don't have to. We're constantly tracking the lowest prices across the Chicago area. Our reporters, traffic team, and listeners work together to find the best deals near you. Listen for lowest gas prices day and night at about 37 minutes past the hour. Chicago's news, traffic, weather, and lowest gas prices station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
What do you see? A duck or a rabbit?
Ben.
Look here. Do you see a vase or two faces looking at each other?
What are you doing?